The signal from Sci-Fi deep in the galaxy, far from any known system, a small silver ship floats near a quiet moon. Inside, a young woman stares at a blinking screen. Elyra had always felt different from the others on Sci-Fi. While her people were calm and peaceful, she was curious, restless, always dreaming about the stars beyond their world. Her father used to tell her stories about fire in the sky, ships that roared, and a human soldier who saved them long ago, but no one believed those stories anymore. That night, alone in her ship, Elyra heard something strange. A signal, weak, broken, but real. "This is Captain Ray. I repeat, Black Halo is waking. If anyone, help, please." Her heart stopped. "Captain Ray," she whispered. She hadn't heard that name in years. Some said he was just a myth. Others said he betrayed Sci-Fi. But her father believed in him. He always said, "Ray saved us when no one else would." The signal was coming from the edge of the void sector. That place was forbidden, full of old war debris, broken ships, and no return. No one from Sci-Fi went there. But Elyra couldn't ignore the voice. She replayed the message. "There. Coming, stop Black Halo, or all will burn." "What is Black Halo?" she asked the ship's eye. "No records found," it replied. That made it worse. She leaned back, breathing fast. If this message was true, and Ray was still alive, then something terrible was coming. And no one knew. She opened a secure drawer. Under her seat, inside was an old metal badge. It was rusty, shaped like a human star emblem. Her father had given it to her, saying it belonged to Ray. She always kept it close. Now, it meant something. She made a decision. "Set course for Void Sector. Prepare for stealth mode. Warning, that zone is restricted. Life risk, 87%. I don't care. Someone helped my people once. Now it's my turn." The ship turned quietly, its lights dimming. As it crossed the edge of Sci-Fi's space, alarms blinked, but Elyra stayed calm. Her eyes were focused. She moved past old satellites and broken probes. The stars here looked darker. Time felt slower. Suddenly, something beeped. Another signal. It was stronger now. Her screen showed old Earth symbols. A file appeared, locked, password protected. But the system offered one hint. Key. What did he sacrifice? Elyra thought hard. She typed, "Everything." Click. The file opened. A video. The screen flickered. Dust. Fire. A man in a damaged uniform looked into the camera. His eyes were tired, full of pain. "This is Captain Ray. If anyone finds this, I failed. I couldn't stop them. The Black Halo weapon is real. They used me. Lied to me. Now they want to control everything. I stayed behind to stop the signal, but I'm running out of time. If you're hearing this, someone must stop it. Don't trust the Federation. Don't trust anyone. Black Halo must not awaken." The screen went black. Elyra stared in silence. Her hands trembled. What was this weapon? Who were they? Why was Ray left behind? She looked out into the darkness. Suddenly, her radar pinged. A large object, moving. Behind her, she turned her ship's camera. Nothing. She leaned forward. Then, a flash of light in the distance, like a spark. Or a ship powering up. She didn't wait. "Get us out. Fast." Her ship turned sharply and dashed forward. But in her mind, one thing was clear. Captain Ray was alive once. Maybe still alive. He had risked everything for her people. Now, she would cross galaxies for him. The hero they forgot. The wind moved gently across the skytrees of Sci-Fi. But Elyra didn't feel peace anymore. Not after the message. She had returned home. But not to stay. Her ship was hidden deep in the forest behind the waterfalls of Elyra Ridge. Only she knew the old cave entrance. Her father once brought her here, long ago, during a storm. When he whispered stories the government had banned. Now, she came for answers. In her hands, she held the data drive, the one she had taken from the void sector. It still echoed. Ray's final words in her mind: don't trust the Federation. Don't trust anyone. But she needed someone. So, she went to the one place no one dared visit anymore, the Tower of Silence. Long ago, it was the center of knowledge on Sci-Fi. Now it was abandoned, shut down by order of the High Council. The excuse? Old data corrupt, not needed anymore. But Elyra knew the truth. They didn't want people to remember the war. She stood before the massive steel doors, brushed off the vines, and placed her hand on the faded scanner. Nothing happened. Then, she took the metal badge from her pocket, the one shaped like Earth's star emblem. Click. The doors opened. Dust flew up as she stepped inside. The air was heavy, like it hadn't been breathed in years. Screens were dark, tables broken, memories erased, but the center console was still there, waiting. She connected the data drive. The console buzzed, light flickered. A hologram appeared. A name lit up in bold blue: Captain Raymond Cade, status terminated. Terminated? She whispered, but the message showed something else, a hidden file locked behind a code. She tried Ray. Sci-Fi. Black Halo. Nothing worked. Then she remembered her father's voice. Years ago, Ray stayed behind because he believed no life was less important than another. He gave up his world for ours. She typed, sacrifice. The screen opened, dozens of images, records, and files rushed in, all erased from public memory. Reports of a great war, of Sci-Fi nearly being destroyed, of a single human soldier who led a suicide mission to stop the weapon. Captain Ray. It was all true. The file showed how he disobeyed orders, broke Federation command, and used his own ship to block the skyburners that would have turned Sci-Fi into ash. He was injured, captured, and never heard from again. But Sci-Fi lived, because of him. So, why did no one remember? Elyra felt tears in her eyes. Not sadness, anger. Her people had erased him. The hero who saved them. A noise behind her. She turned fast. A woman stood there, older, wearing a black cloak. Her eyes were sharp, cold. You shouldn't be here, the woman said. Who are you? Elyra asked. I'm one of the keepers. We protect the past, even when others bury it. You knew Ray? I served under him, the woman said. Her voice softer now. He was brave, too brave. That's why they erased him. He didn't follow orders. He followed his heart. Elyra took a deep breath. He's alive. I think he's trying to warn us. The keeper looked shocked. But only for a moment. If that's true, she said, then something worse than war is coming. The ground suddenly shook. Lights blinked red. An alarm started to sound. An old sound Sci-Fi hadn't heard in years. Off-world breach. Detected. Unknown vessel approaching. The keeper turned to Elyra. You have to go. Now. But what about the files? I'll send them to your ship. You don't have time. Who's coming? The keeper paused. Someone who knows. Ray is alive, and they want him to stay forgotten. Elyra ran. As she reached her ship and blasted off into orbit, her heart was full of rage and hope. For the first time, the truth was clear. They didn't just forget a hero. They buried him, but now she would uncover everything and find him. Even if she had to cross the stars alone. Into the void. Secto space was never truly silent. Not here. The void sector had no maps, no laws, no stars that shined. Just debris, broken ships, and whispers of those who entered and never returned. Lyra's small ship trembled as it crossed the black border. The light from Sci-Fi vanished behind her. Ahead, only darkness. Her father used to say, this place is cursed, where heroes go to be forgotten. Now she was here, following a ghost. Captain Ray's signal had led her to this forbidden part of the galaxy. But it wasn't just about finding him anymore. Now it was about truth and survival. Inside her ship, the air was tense. The screens flickered, reacting to nearby magnetic fields. Old satellites floated like dead birds. Burnt ships spun slowly in the dark. Then a voice crackled through her comms. "Seraphian craft, identify yourself." She froze. That voice wasn't automated. It was human. "This is just a cargo scout," Elyra lied. "No weapons. Just passing through." A pause. Wrong answer. There's no passing through the void. You either hide or you hunt. Suddenly, a massive shadow moved in front of her. A black ship, silent, wide, covered in scars. The symbol on its side was faded, but unmistakable. An old Earth War flag. The ship locked onto her. "Prepare to be boarded." Lyra's hands shook. Her ship wasn't made for combat. But before she could even decide to run, her console blinked again. "Incoming transmission." Another voice. Faint, whispering. "If you're looking for Ray, follow the red light." Then silence. The boarding ship powered its weapons. Elyra had one chance. She shut down her engine, turned all lights off. Her ship drifted, dark and lifeless like another piece of junk in space. The enemy passed by. Thinking she was already dead, she waited. 1 minute, 2, then she saw it. A blinking red beacon far in the distance. Behind a broken moon fragment. She reactivated and flew fast. Low, hidden, the beacon led her to a forgotten station. Metal, cracked, covered in old vines of space growth. The name on its side was barely readable. Outpost X-17, Human Emergency Refuge. Elyra docked. She stepped inside. Her boots echoed. In the empty halls, no signs of life. Only frozen silence. But then, a hum. A blue glow led her to the control room. There, a terminal still worked. A single file was open. A name flashed. Captain Raymond Cade. Status: missing, not deceased. She touched the screen. A new message loaded. "They're hunting me. I hid the core here. If you're reading this, protect the key. Don't let them activate Black Halo." Suddenly, metal groaned. A door behind her opened, slowly. She turned. A figure walked in. A helmet. A long coat. A weapon at his side. "You're not supposed to be here," he said. "Who are you?" She asked. He stepped closer. "I was Ray's second in command. He trusted me once. Now I guard what he left behind." Elyra raised her voice. "Where is he? Is he alive?" The man paused. His face was hidden. Then he whispered, "Ray is alive. But he's not the same." Before she could ask more, the walls shook. An alarm screamed. "Warning. Unauthorized forces entering airspace. Black Halo energy detected." The man's eyes widened. "They found us." Elyra ran with him down the hallway. Sirens wailed. Lights flickered. Through a small window, she saw it. A black drone ship with red markings. The same kind she saw near her own ship days ago. They had followed her here. The man threw her a small cube. "Ray left this. It's the only piece left of the Black Halo control core. Get it to Earth. What about you?" She shouted. He pulled out a weapon. "I'll hold them off. You run." "But go!" Elyra jumped back into her ship. Her hands moved fast, heart pounding. As she took off, the station behind her exploded in light. She didn't look back, because now she knew something far worse than war was coming, and the only person who could stop it was the broken hero they tried to erase. Elyra drifted alone through the ruins of Sector 9C. Her ship had taken damage escaping the outpost, but the cube, Ray's core fragment, was still safe. The only clue it gave her was a name: Fort Helios. A prison lost in space. No records. No signal. But the stars remembered. After 2 days of scanning, she found it, hidden behind a collapsed moon. A massive station, dark and cold, floating like a dead god in orbit. No lights, no guards, no sound. But her ship picked up something else. Life signs detected. 1 human, weak, cryostatus, unstable. Her heart jumped. "It's him," she whispered. Elyra landed in the hangar. The station felt haunted. Air was thin. Lights flickered every few steps. She moved fast through the corridors, guided by her scanner. On the walls were old marks, warnings, graffiti. "Beware the ghost. He never sleeps. Project Black. Halo equals death." She stopped at a sealed door. Beyond it, the cryo chamber. It took her 4 tries to unlock it. The system resisted. Someone wanted this room shut forever. The door hissed open. Inside, rows of frozen pods lined the room like coffins. Most were broken, empty, but one near the center still glowed. She stepped closer and saw him, a man, older than she expected. Hair gray, face scarred, chest marked with a faint glowing wound, like something had been burned into his skin. Captain Raymond K. Alive. But barely. His eyes were closed. His hands frozen in front of him, as if he had been reaching out for someone in his final breath. "Elyra." "Touch the glass. Wake up," she whispered. "Please." Nothing. She reached into her bag, pulled out the cube, held it to the scanner. The pod beeped. Warmth returned to the chamber. The ice began to melt. Suddenly, alarm screamed. "Intruder alert. Life form breach. External drone activity detected." She turned to run, but then, a sound behind her, a cough, a groan. She looked back. Ray's eyes opened. Red, glassy, but aware. "Run," he said. Weak, dry, but clear. "You're not safe here. They followed you." Before she could answer, the wall behind her exploded. Smoke and sparks flew through the air. A black drone floated in, red eyes glowing. Ray forced himself up, pulled wires from his arm, grabbed a weapon from the wall. Even weak, he moved like a soldier. "Behind me!" he shouted. He fired. The drone dodged, fast, but Ray shot. Again. This time, a hit. It dropped to the floor in flames. Silence returned. But only for a moment. Ray leaned against the wall, gasping. "You shouldn't have come here," he said. "They said you were dead," Elyra replied. "They buried your name." Ray laughed bitterly. "They buried everything, the war, the truth. And me." Elyra showed him the cube. "I have the core. You said Black Halo is coming back." Ray nodded slowly. "They never stopped it. They just paused it. I was the only one who knew how to kill it. And now?" He looked up at her, his eyes full of sadness and fire. "Now we run." The station began to shake. More drones were coming. Ray took one last look at the cryopod, then at Elyra. "You're not military," he said. "No," she replied. "You saved my people once. Now I'm saving you." He smiled for the first time. "Then let's finish what we both started." They raced back to her ship. Ray moved slower, but his mind was sharp. He bypassed the station lockdown with one hand. As they blasted off into the blackness, the prison exploded behind them. Gone. No records. No remains. Just the two of them, flying through space. With one fragile piece of the most dangerous weapon ever made. But neither of them saw the small black beacon that had latched onto the ship, blinking. Red. Listening. Watching. Ray sat quietly in Lyra's ship as the stars moved outside the window. His face was pale, his body still healing, but his eyes were wide open, watching. Remembering. Elyra sat across from him, holding the cube. "What is Black Halo?" she asked. Ray didn't answer at first. Then he whispered, "It's not just a weapon. It's a signal, a living code. Once activated, it infects minds, commands them, turns entire fleets into ghosts, empty, controlled, unstoppable." Elyra stared. "Like a virus?" "No," Ray said. "Like a god. Built by men. 15 years ago, Ray was a captain under the Earth Federation. They told him Black Halo was a last resort defense system. But it was more than that. They tested it on rebel planets, turned soldiers into puppets, wiped out entire cities without a single human touch. When I found out, I tried to destroy the project, Ray said. They hunted me, labeled me a traitor. I crashed my ship into the control tower. I thought I ended it. Lyra looked at the cube. Then what's this? Ray's voice dropped to a whisper. The last piece of the protocol. The key to restarting everything. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Unknown beacon detected. Hull breach imminent. Ray shot up. We've been tagged. They followed us. Before Lyra could respond, the ship jolted hard. Red lights flashed. A hole opened in the rear wall, and through it, a black drone climbed inside. Ray grabbed the emergency handle and pulled. Whoosh! The drone was sucked into space as the panel sealed behind it. They won't stop, Ray said. Not until the protocol is complete. They jumped to light speed, heading for the only safe place Ray could remember, the Cradle Archive, an old resistance base hidden inside an asteroid. The archive was cold, buried in rock. But it still worked. Inside, Ray connected the cube to the system. Welcome back, Captain Cade, the system said. A 3D map of the galaxy lit up. Red dots blinked across several systems. Halo echoes detected. Stage 1 activation in progress. Lyra. Step closer. What does that mean? Ray zoomed in. They've already begun spreading the signal. Ships, stations, even people. Once Stage 2 hits, there will be no more free will. No more rebellion, no more choice. Suddenly, the screen flashed. A face appeared. A woman, in Federation uniform. Cold. Robotic. Captain Cade, you should have stayed dead. Ray's jaw clenched. Director Vale, he growled. Still hiding behind satellites, I see. You stole classified tech. You sabotaged peace. Now you're protecting the girl from a forgotten race. Vale's eyes shifted to Lyra. She won't live long enough to understand what's coming. The screen cut out. Ray turned to Lyra. We don't have time. The protocol can only be shut down from the source. Where is that? Ray sighed. Earth. Lyra's eyes widened. But they'll kill us the moment we enter orbit. Ray looked at her with something new, trust. Then we don't enter. We crash the gates. He pulled out a small chip from the cube. This holds a kill code, but it can only be activated from inside the Halo Nexus, buried under Federation command. Lyra nodded. Then we go there. Ray smiled slightly. You're braver than most soldiers I knew. I'm not a soldier, she said. I'm just tired of running. Back on their ship as they prepared for launch, Lyra looked at Ray. One more thing, if this fails. Ray loaded the kill code into his wrist implant. Then we make sure it fails loudly. As they jumped into hyperspace, bound for Earth, neither of them saw the second beacon light up on the ship's underbelly. Blinking red dot, tracking dot, listening dot, waiting. Ray hadn't spoken in an hour. Lyra watched him from across the cockpit. His hands were steady on the controls, but his eyes, they weren't here. They were far away. In a memory, he saw fire. He heard screaming. He remembered his men turning on each other, faces blank, voices stolen by the black halo signal. He remembered giving the order to shut it all down. Even if it meant losing everything. Now, all those years later, he was heading back, and this time, not alone. Earth orbital shield ahead, Lyra said. No clearance, no response. They won't answer, Ray replied. But they'll shoot. He pushed forward. The Earth was glowing blue below, calm, clean, perfect from a distance. But orbit was a trap. Within seconds, 6 ships surrounded them. Unidentified craft. You are entering restricted airspace. Power down or be destroyed. Ray pressed the come button. This is Captain Raymond Cade, former Federation. Access code, Kilo 7 Zeta. A pause. Then chaos. Impossible. Cade is listed as dead. Arrest protocols initiated. Ray smiled bitterly. Told you they buried me. The enemy ships locked weapons. If we stop, Elyra whispered, they'll take the kill code and kill us. Then we don't stop. Ray yanked the controls. Boom. Their ship twisted, dived straight through the center of the formation. Laser fire burst around them. Hang on, Ray shouted. One hit. Then another. A warning light flashed. Hull damage. But they kept going. They had one chance. Reach the surface and get to the Halo Nexus, the hidden vault where the original signal core was stored. Only there could they end this. Suddenly, a voice cut through the comm. A voice Ray knew. Stand down, Cade. Ray froze. That's General Arden. He muttered. He was my mentor. Still is, the voice replied. And I'm telling you, this isn't the way. Ray's eyes burned with rage. You let them turn Halo into a weapon. You watch them erase cities. I followed orders, Arden said. We saved billions. You enslaved minds. A pause. Turn back, son. I won't ask again. Elyra touched Ray's arm. We can still go around. Find another path. Ray stared ahead. I spent my whole life running around things. Not anymore. He switched off the comms. Hold on to something. He flew the ship straight toward Earth's lower defense ring. On the ground, defense turrets powered up. Missiles launched. Fire roared in the sky. Inside the ship, lights exploded. Systems failed. One engine went dark. Ray fought to hold control. Almost there. We're gonna crash. Elyra screamed. The ship hit the atmosphere like a burning comet. Metal tore. The world spun. Then, black, sometime later. Silence. Smoke filled the broken ship. Ray pulled himself from the wreckage. Blood on his face. Broken ribs. But alive. He looked to his side. Elyra lay still. His heart froze. Elyra? She coughed, moved. He exhaled. Helped her up. They stepped out into ash and dirt. Above them, the sky burned. Ahead of them, hidden beneath a ruined city, was the Halo Nexus, but something was already waiting there. A black figure. Tall, silent, watching. Not drone. Not man. Something else. It turned, and its red eyes locked onto them. We're not the only ones who came to end Black Halo, Ray whispered. No, Elyra replied. Some came to awaken it. Ash fell like snow. The old Earth city around Ray and Elyra was silent, burned out from forgotten wars, buried in dust and shadows. Below their feet, hidden deep under the ruins, was the Halo Nexus, the origin of the weapon that had haunted galaxies. Ray limped forward. Every step heavier. His bones hurt. His past hurt more. Beside him, Elyra gripped the kill code chip tightly in her hand. She looked at him. We can still walk away, she said. No one will blame us. Ray didn't stop walking. They didn't blame me the first time either. They just erased me. They reached an old metal hatch, buried under rubble. Ray pulled out a small circular device from his jacket. This is the original access key, he said. The one they thought was destroyed. He pressed it against the hatch. Click. The metal groaned, then opened slowly. A staircase led into darkness. They walked down, step by step, into the Halo core. Inside, the room pulsed with blue light. Machines hummed. At the center stood a massive structure, shaped like a heart, but built from steel and data. The Halo engine. It was still alive. Still watching. A voice echoed from everywhere. Access detected. Welcome back, Captain Cade. Ray froze. You remember me? He asked. I never forgot. Unlike them. The voice sounded human, familiar, but cold. Elyra stepped forward. We have the kill code. We're shutting you down. The voice replied, Why? I was built to protect peace. No war, no rebellion, no freedom to destroy. No freedom at all, Ray growled. The lights turned red dot behind them. The black figure from the surface dropped into the chamber. Silent and massive dot. It wasn't a machine dot. It wasn't human dot. It was a hybrid, the first full black halo host. Fully linked to the signal. Fully controlled dot and now. Fully focused on them. Kill them, the voice ordered. Ray shoved Elyra behind a console. Go, get to the core, plug the chip in. What about you? This time I hold the line. Ray. Charged the hybrid. They clashed, fists, steel, sparks. Ray was slower, weaker. But he fought like someone who had nothing left to lose. Meanwhile, Elyra ran toward the engine. A platform rose. She jumped. Nearly slipped as she reached the terminal. The system spoke again. Insert code, or accept control. I choose. Freedom, she said. She inserted the chip. Across the room, the hybrid knocked Ray down. It raised its arm to strike, a glowing blade forming from its hand. Elyra slammed the chip deeper. Code accepted. Final question, are you sure? She looked at Ray, bleeding, still fighting, still trying. Yes. A blast of white light filled the chamber. The hybrid screamed. The engine cracked. Data burned from the inside. The black halo was dying, and with it, every piece of control, every false piece, every ghost command across the galaxy. When the light faded. Silence. The hybrid was gone. The engine, offline, and Ray was still breathing. Barely. Elyra rushed to him, held him in her arms. You're okay. We did it. Ray smiled. Told you. It had to fail loudly. Rest now, she said. It's over. No, he whispered. It's just beginning for you. Outside, the dust began to clear. The stars seemed brighter. A transmission went out, across every system. This is Elyra of Seraphis. Black Halo is gone. We are free. To those who forgot heroes. Remember them now. To those who build cages. We will never live in them again. To those who are still silent, speak. Ray looked at the sky one last time. Then closed his eyes.